Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us in honoring our veterans today. On behalf of College of the Albemarle, Elizabeth City State University, and Mid-Atlantic Christian University, it is a privilege to welcome you to this celebration of gratitude and respect for those who served. We are grateful to those that had intended on being here today. We are grateful to those that are here with us today, and we would like to acknowledge our guests. Please wave your hand when I call your name. We have today our president of College of the Albemarle, Dr. Jack Bagwell, the chancellor of Elizabeth City State University, Dr. Catherine Edmonds, and Dr. Bain Angles, representing Mid-Atlantic Christian University on behalf of Dr. John Maurice, who was unable to be with us today. Our student speakers, Michelle Barnes, Bobby Martin, Wendra Costley. Our platform guests, Ray Broughton, Lieutenant Colonel Julie Kendrick, Yolanda Teskey, Jamie Thomason, and Robin Graham. Several members of COA's Board of Trustees, Mr. Tommy Fulcher, Ms. Patty Kersey, Mr. Tom White. We also have the Camden County Manager, Ms. Erin Burke, the Camden County Commissioner, Ms. Sissy Eidlet, Pasquotank County Commissioner, Mr. Charles Jordan, Elizabeth City Pasquotank School Board members, Ms. Sharon Warden. We also have Ms. Tori Reynolds from the North Carolina Community College System. Last but not least, several employees from Elizabeth City State University, Mid-Atlantic Christian University, and College of the Albemarle. If I fail to recognize you, please do not. We are so grateful that you are here with us today, so thank you. It is certainly, thank you. That was definitely not our intent. We want to recognize everyone and let you know that we truly appreciate you being here. This celebration is to demonstrate each institution's appreciation and continued support for student veterans as well as veterans in our community. Today, we come together as a college community to recognize the bravery, sacrifice, and dedication of the men and women who have defended our freedoms. Will all of the veterans in attendance today please stand to be recognized? Thank you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your service.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of colors and remain standing for the singing of our national anthem.
You may be seated. At this time, I am pleased to introduce our student veteran speakers, each representing our institutions with great pride. U.S. Navy veteran Michelle Barnes from Elizabeth City State University, U.S. Navy veteran Bobby Martin from Mid-Atlantic Christian University, and U.S. Army veteran Wendra Cosley from College of the Albemarle.
Good morning, everyone. Excuse me. My name is Michelle Barnes, and I served in the Navy for 8.5 years as an aviation electronics technician. Prior to joining, I attended California State University at San Bernardino. It wasn't a private college, but it did kind of get a little expensive, so I decided to enlist to help pay for my education and to one day finish my bachelor's degree. While serving as an aviation electronics technician, I gained valuable experience in the aviation career field, which led me to explore other career activities maybe available within aviation outside of the military. After doing some extensive research and hearing so many great things about the program at ECSU, I made my decision to become an aviation science major with a concentration in professional aeronautics and soon a minor in unmanned aerial systems. So I am proud to say that I'm currently on track to graduate in December of 2026. In doing so, I will not only be able to fulfill my long-term goal, but I will also be able to make my family proud. In closing, Viking Pride, Viking Pride, Viking Pride. Thank you.
No, I'm not faculty. I might look like it, but I'm not faculty. I am Mess Specialist, Second Class, Submarine Service, Bobby Martin Jr., retired. I first met Jesus as a young teenager. My father was pastor at a church in Chula Vista, California in the early 1970s during the Vietnamese War. He would bring young men to church from 32nd Street in National City, and young men that were going to the Naval Hospital School, Balboa Park, San Diego. So there I learned more about the Navy and really got excited about it. My life in the Navy and maybe even making a career out of it, because I wasn't for sure what I wanted to do. My father took a church in his home state of Mississippi, where I joined the Navy in 1977, right out of high school. I learned the word prodigal today. I looked it up in the dictionary. The word prodigal means spending money or resources freely, recklessly, wastefully, and extravagantly. Prodigals' habits die hard. I ran from God. I had an idea in my life what my life was going to be. And it kind of has something to do with God, but really I wanted to do my own thing. Luke chapter 15, verses 18 and 19. I will raise I will arise and go to my father, and I will say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Treat me as one of your hired servants. I knew I wasn't a bad person. I was as sinful as could be. I couldn't help myself. I can't do it on my own. Verse 20 says, his father saw him, felt compassion, and ran and embraced him and kissed him. The word there I want you to see is the word compassion. Not hatred, not I told you so. I see what you did. He had compassion. And he ran and embraced him and kissed him. But the father said to his servants, bring quickly the best robe and put it on him. And put a ring on his hand, shoes on his feet, and bring the fatty calf and kill it. Let us eat and celebrate, for my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. And they began to celebrate. Now that's extravagant love. God doesn't want you to live in sin. He has extravagant love for you. I made a commitment to Jesus at a men's ministry called The Garage in Smithville, Virginia. All that I have seen in the Navy can't compare to the lives I have seen changed, even mine. My favorite verse is Romans 4, 7, and 8. Blessed are those whose lawless acts are forgiven and whose sins are covered. Blessed is the person the Lord will never charge with sin. Now, this is my Jesus. This could be yours too. And if you have any questions about how to find Jesus, ask him. Ask him to show you. He will show you. He'll show himself to you. And come see me or find a pastor that could show you a way. Pick up your Bible. Read it. But I have seen so many things in my life as a sailor. I've seen the North Pole. The picture that I have of me, that was me at the North Pole. I've been to Africa. I've been to Italy. I've been all over Europe. I've seen South America. And nothing compares to the love of Jesus and the love that he has for you. Take it from a man that's seen the world. Jesus is real. Love y'all.
Good afternoon. My name is Wendra Costley. I am a U.S. Army veteran and an aviation maintenance student at the College of the Albemarle at the Currituck campus. Before I start talking, I want to first thank COA for letting me have this opportunity to speak at this function and for being a military-friendly school. Who am I? My military occupation was 25 uniform. I was a signal system support specialist. I worked on radios and computers for more layman terms. They were on platforms like Humvees and Strykers, and in Garrison I would work in IT support. I went to basic training at Fort Jackson and AIT. Well, they've changed the names now. Went to AIT in Fort Gordon, Georgia. I started, my first unit was in Fort Lewis in Washington State. I was forward deployed to Afghanistan in the western region of it. I PCS'd from Fort Lewis to Rose Barracks, Germany, which was where I got out in 2018. Back here to good old North Carolina. That's why I'm here. Since I've been out, I've had 2 jobs, technically 3 if you count being a mom, and, you know, whatever, of 4. One was working at a steel mill, and I found that that really wasn't what my calling was. I was a raw materials coordinator, and then I moved on to work at an air separation plant, which also was not my calling either. After leaving there, I found myself with a timeline to start school because you just can't float there. I needed to figure out what I wanted to do when I grew up, and at 36, you really need to know what you need to do when you get there. In 2019, I started some research and tried to develop a solid plan on what I wanted to pursue. And I also needed to consider the area and what was available to me. A big thing around here is aviation. We have the Coast Guard base, and that's something that drew me in a little bit. I called the aviation department here at COA and got some information about their program, and I ping-ponged back and forth really heavily between trying to stay between just a job that was good for money and then a job that was good for, you know, me. And so I decided to just pursue aviation because it's what's not cool about airplanes, right? I already loved airplanes and I love troubleshooting, and that's what you do when you're working in like IT or anything of that nature. So every fall, registration would creep up and I would find myself not registered. How funny, right? So I would pass it up for the next semester and I'd be like, it's okay, I'll just register next semester. And then babies stopped being babies and I had nothing to do. They started school, and so what did mom do? She started school too. In the fall of 2023, I went full send on the Associate's Program in Applied Science at COA through the Aviation Program in Currituck. I love the program, and I love so much in the time that I've been there, or learned so much in the time that I've been there. There are veterans sprinkled throughout the first and the second year students within the facility. There are still challenges that come with going to school as a veteran. We are older and our backs hurt, and we have some experiences that a good amount of college students will not be able to relate to. But just like all hard things, you accomplish them like military schools, training, running in the rain, cold, and the heat, physical training, but we can do them. And we do them. And that's all I got for y'all. Thank you.
Now please join me in welcoming to the stage Chancellor Dr. Catherine Edmonds of Elizabeth City State University, U.S. Army veteran Dr. Bain Engels, Vice President of Student Life at Mid-Atlantic Christian University, and Dr. Jack Bagwell, President of College of the Albemarle, in that order for a few remarks. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and especially our veterans. I would like to thank Dr. Bagwell and the team at the College of the Albemarle for hosting this year's event. This event is yet another example of our higher education team here in Elizabeth City, including the College of the Albemarle, Elizabeth City State University, and Mid-Atlantic Christian University, working together to better serve the students, staff, and faculty of our institutions and our Elizabeth City community. Although we work every day to assist and honor our veterans, today is set aside specifically to recognize all of our veterans for their service and sacrifices. We recognize the bravery of those who remain on duty in the active guard and reserve components of all military branches, here at home and serving abroad, who risk their lives for our safety, security, and freedoms. And we are especially thankful for and in great debt to those who sacrifice their lives for our nation's freedom. Our military veterans and their families who study and work among us have devoted part of their lives, often decades, to the service of our community and the armed forces. Many of our ECSU family, including faculty, staff, and students, to include my very own son, who's a Coast Guard veteran, have served, continue to serve, or are part of a military family. Our veterans tend to be humble about the service that they've provided, so you may not always know who they are and that the numbers that are included, the individuals from all parts of the university family, including our Board of Trustees, administrators, faculty, and staff, alumni, and current students. We are a military-friendly university, and we are proud to continue a tradition of excellence, serving and supporting our military members, veterans, and their families. ECSU maintains an active U.S. Army ROTC program that has a tradition of commissioning fine young women and men, as we've seen today, each year, and we remain extremely proud of our strong partnership with the U.S. Coast Guard, and especially our friends and partners here at the Elizabeth City Coast Guard Base. If you know a veteran, take the time today to acknowledge their service. An even more fitting way to honor them is to seek out one of the many organizations that work with veterans and offer a contribution of your time or contribute to the veteran support organizations. If you do additional research, you may find evidence of your veteran family or friends in their stories of their service that will make you proud to be an American. Thank you for attending today and spending some time honoring those who serve and have served, and especially those who were and are part of our combined higher education families. Viking pride, Viking pride, Viking pride.
An experience I had, I suspect many in this room have had as well. I'll never forget the day when I got off the bus and I was introduced for the first time to drill instructors. And they explained in very clear terms what must be done at that moment, or what should have been done 10 minutes ago, because that's what drill instructors do. I learned much from being in the military, and I think there's much that could be said about what it means to serve and what does it mean to be willing to give of your time and potentially even your life to serve this country. I love this country. I grew close to God through my time in the military. But most importantly, as I consider what it meant and how it was designed, when you first go into the military, the first thing they do, at least for men, is they shave our heads. And they put us all in the same uniform. Now, there's many reasons for that, but one of them is this. It doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter if you come from the mountains of Virginia, like I did, or from the inner city of Chicago, like my battle buddy did, or whether you come from Puerto Rico, or you come from a foreign country and want to be part of our United States military and become a citizen. You are now part of one group, unified, that you are called, that together you can do something bigger than yourself because you are unified in one purpose. At a time and a place in which we are so divided as a people, I rejoice that our three institutions can come together not only today, but in many other times, that we can share an ROTC program and students from both universities can be blessed by it. that we can come together and we can share spaces together. And my prayer would be that for those of us who have served, that we would recognize the value of unity, the value of something bigger than ourselves, that together we can do so much more than we can do divided. I love that it didn't matter what color you were, what creed you were, what your accent is. All that matters is we are together as one unit. And we are called today to unify together, to make a difference in this world. Those of us in higher education believe that what we do is more than simply providing education. It is providing life skills to make leaders who will make a difference in this country. And so we partner together as 3 institutions of higher education. We partner together as ROTC programs. We partner together as leadership because we know together we can do more. I'm proud to have served, and I'm proud of those who served with me and those of you who served before I was ever born. And together, let's make a difference in this world.
I want to thank you all for coming to College of the Albemarle. If it's your first time on campus, we hope it's definitely not your last time on campus. Please come see us anytime. To the employees of the colleges, the students, the planning committee that put this together, thank you for bringing us together so that we could acknowledge, celebrate, remember, and rejoice with our veterans. To my colleagues, thank you for your comments, thank you for being here, but more importantly, thank you for your partnership, as has been mentioned. We appreciate the fact that we are in a community that is rich in higher ed institutions. That's not that common for a community of this size. And it's also not very common that we see the institutions working together as well as we have, at least in my time here in the last 5 years, and I'm sure for many years to come. So thank you both for your leadership, your partnership, your friendship, and everything that the institutions have been able to work together on. And students, you guys did a great job. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for your leadership, and thank you for choosing our institutions to further your careers, to change your trajectories, to change your lives as you go forward. And we appreciate you sharing your journeys with us. And to our veterans that are in the room and that are on our faculties and our staff and that are part of our student bodies, thank you for enriching our institutions. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, your experiences, and just the depth of being that you bring to everything that you do. It is very, very important to each of these institutions, and I speak from the COA perspective, but I think I can speak for the other institutions. We value you being here, we value what you bring to the table, and we value the life experience that you share with students. One of the things that we try to do here at College of the Albemarle is mix our communities because we believe that diversity makes us stronger. We believe that as we see these communities, we serve students from 15 to 85. And as we mix these communities, we have veterans and non-veterans. We have students that come from all over our 7-county service area and beyond because of the military connections that bring them here. That we're all richer for the experience. So thank you for choosing us. Thank you for spending your time with us, and thank you for teaching us when you are here. But as we also have been recognized as a military-friendly and military spouse-friendly and family-friendly institution, we recognize that there is more work to be done. There's always some improvement that we can make. We are an institution that values continuous improvement. We believe that we can get better every day. And with you helping us, there are things that we have not thought of yet that will serve you better, that will help you to achieve as veterans. Please share those with us. We're always open to your feedback, and we're certainly open to seeing how we can be even more military-friendly and family-friendly and spouse-friendly. But as we practice our continuous improvement, our tagline, if you will, but our fundamental belief as an institution is we believe you can transform your tomorrow. Change your family trajectory by coming here. And so we are working with state agencies and our partners and the military branches to work with them to try to figure out how we can get students transitioned. And we've done a lot of work with the Coast Guard base in our aviation program and had a number of opportunities over the last few months, and I think we're just scratching the surface. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for helping us as institutions come together to recognize our veterans. Thank you again, veterans, for all that you have done, are doing, and will do for this country, for these institutions, for our community. And thank you all again for being here. We're blessed by your presence.
We're getting close to lunch. I'm gonna hurry up, okay. Okay, so first I would like for Miss Robin Graham to please walk over to our students and present them with their gifts. We have gotten a special gift for our speakers because they did such a wonderful job. Can we please give our student speakers another hand? So in our bag, we have a gift from each institution because as our presidents have stated, this is a joint effort. This is not just about COA, not just about Mid-Atlantic, this is not just about ECSU. This is a joint effort from all three institutions. Thank you, Robin. I also want to thank everyone for attending our Veterans Recognition Ceremony today. We would like to thank all three institutions again, College of the Albemarle, Elizabeth City State University, and Mid-Atlantic Christian University. Thank you again to our student speakers, and Elizabeth City State University, ROTC, and JROTC students for providing the presentation of the colors. I would like to say a special thank you to our school certifying officials for working together to make this event a success, and that is Mr. Raymond Broughton, Ms. Yolanda Teskey, Lieutenant Colonel Kendrick, and also Robin Graham and Jamie Thomason from COA. Robin, your hard work for this event has not gone unnoticed, and I want to publicly say thank you for all of the work that you've done in making COA look very good. Thank you so much for that. Please join us for lunch in the Dolphins Den. We do have lunch. We will have hostesses in our lobby that will guide you over to the Dolphins Den. So I look forward to seeing you all. Thank you again for joining us today for this program, and look forward to seeing you in the Dolphins Den. Thank you.